Hi guys, today we're taking a look at some Harry Potter toys, and most of these are from before 2001. I have a vintage Burrow playset right here. I also have some original trading cards, as well as this very nice sweets tin. And this box here has some figures in it, and this isn't vintage, this one I actually bought recently. So we're going to start by taking a look at these Funko Hero Worlds figures. I've managed to get them all out of the box, and I must say that they look pretty good. The set cost me £10, so that means that it works out about £2 per character, and I think that that's quite good value. They actually remind me a lot of Toys to Life figures with their sort of general stylization and their size, and it looks good. So we have Hermione, Harry, Ron, Professor McGonagall and Dumbledore. So we'll start by taking a look at Hermione. As you can probably tell, these figures are not styled in the same way that you would expect if they were based on the actors from the films. And that's because they're actually styled a lot more like the illustrations from the original books. So you can see that this Hermione definitely doesn't look anything like Emma Watson. But that's not a bad thing. You've got this brilliant expression on her face, which just looks rather unimpressed, which definitely suits Hermione. She's holding all her books under her arm, she's pointing her wand. She's very Hermione-ish, even though she doesn't look like Emma Watson. I think that it's a bit strange how her ankles are really big, but I think that that's just part of the stylization. Overall, I think that there's not too many errors on the paint job. The worst part is on the wrist just here. There's a little bit of overlap, things not being quite right there. But besides that, the paint job is good and I'm quite impressed. The second figure that we're looking at is Harry. And one of the first things which I notice about this figure is his pose. I think that is a very dynamic position. I love how his scarf and also his robes are flowing around his body. There's a real feeling of movement there. And I do really like his scarf. That's just one feature which I find looks fantastic. The paint job is almost perfect on this one, except that last tassel there should probably be yellow. What I will say though, is that I think that his hair should be messier and scruffier. I think it just looks that little bit too neat for a figure. But you will notice, if you look closely, that inside his glasses, that is actually clear plastic. So he actually has lenses in his frames, which is pretty cool. Ron is the figure out of these which has the most defects. As a character, I quite like Ron because he shows off like the more human qualities that we have. And I do like the sort of scruffy style of this depiction of him. How he's got his jacket and his shirt sort of hanging out. You know, he's not the smartest of characters. And he's showing that in his expression as well. But there's a lot of defects in the actual paintwork of this figure. So we've got like some black on his hair, and there's a lot of paint overlapping on his sleeves and on his shirt as well. So that is unfortunate. Nevertheless, I think that it shows off Ron's character quite well, just having those defects even, because he is far from a perfect character. And that's something which is so likeable about him. Our fourth figure is Dumbledore, and I think they've done a really good job of making him look like the original illustrations. Everything about his design is just perfect. There's no paint defects and there's a really big warmth to him, which just makes him look perfect. We've got the purple robes, we've got his long beard, we've got his half-moon spectacles. He just looks mysterious but kind, and that's just what you need to think of when you think of Dumbledore. Our last figure is McGonagall, and she's actually my favourite figure out of the 5. I think that they've done, again, a great job with making her look accurate to the original illustrations, including her robes. I don't recall her wand from the films. I don't recall exactly what that looked like. It's interesting that it goes from being brown to then being black. That's quite odd, but very interesting. But I especially like her crooked hat. We've got this real shape all going on here, which just contrasts really well with her prim and proper posture. Now we're going to take a look at the trading card game. As you can see, this shows off Diagon Alley, and again it's in the book style because this was a game which was brought out before 2001, before the films came out. So we've got a bit of a description of what the game is about on the back, as well as what is included in this pack. I don't have a full and complete pack. I bought it secondhand quite a while ago. So I don't have all of the things, but I have enough to be able to show you what this is all about. But this was designed and made by Wizards of the Coast, who actually created Pokemon. I'm a big fan of this kind of packaging, of the original Harry Potter logos and the stylization. I just really like the vintage style artwork. I like it more than any of the artwork that you see for the films actually. There are 4 different cards within this game, and the first that I'm going to show you are character cards. These are put into play before you even start playing, and you only ever have 1 per deck. Here I've got Hermione and also Draco, and both of these come with the starter set. But I also have a shiny Hagrid, but it's so shiny that you actually can't see his portrait very well at all. But you'll notice from this writing here that each of them have an ability which comes into play at some point during the game. So there'll be an action, or you'll have a certain amount of other cards out in play, and that will trigger off something which is specific to your character. And that's just why it's really important to have the right character for your style of play. The next cards that I'd like to show you are the lessons cards, and these are the power or the currency within the game. They're necessary in order to do certain actions and in order to put other cards into play. There are 4 different types. There's Transfiguration, Charms, Care of Magical Creatures, and also Potions, although I don't have any Potions ones because they don't come with the starter set and I haven't bought any. But these are very important because you essentially can't do anything in the game without having enough of these in play, and of the right kind. On the back of all of the cards, there's this wonderful artwork which has Harry Potter trading card game, and also this artwork right at the bottom here of the top of Harry's spectacles as well as his lightning bolt. And I just think it looks really magical, and I really like that. We also have creature cards and spell cards, and these are used within the game to actually have an effect on your opponent. So they're used to cause damage and other effects throughout the game. Within this set, I'm supposed to have a rule book, 12 damage counters, and also a playmat. The playmat is the thing which I am missing. And this is really good, especially because it also includes all the different cards within the set, as well as what you can expect to find within the starter set and what you should have, so you can find out exactly which cards you're missing. I'm hoping to complete this set soon so that I can have a proper go at playing this game and really get into it. But as it stands, I think that it's a beautifully designed set. I love the cards, I love their illustration. They're just very interesting just to look at without even learning to play the game. If you are interested in getting more of these cards, I do believe that they're sent out in the subscription boxes with Loot Crate. I'm not sure exactly which one or how many you get, but I do believe that you can get them that way. Our next item is the Harry Potter Sweets tin, and this did have sweets in it, but it doesn't anymore because they were very old. It was from 2001, so it no longer has sweets. But this is a gorgeous tin because not only does it have these lovely illustrations all the way around from all different scenes, but it also has the Harry Potter figure on the top. He's sat cross-legged, he's holding his book. He's actually a lot more defined than a lot of the characters and figures that you get, you can see his features a lot more clearly in this one. It's a very cute box. I love the purple. I think that that's very magical and mysterious. And it's the good kind of size. It's not a very big tin, there's not too many things that you can put in it, but it's a perfect size for a display piece. Our last item that we're looking at today is the vintage 2001 Burrow playset. You'll notice that the camera is in a different place. That was because I had to stop the recording and it's now a different day. That's pretty much because my neighbour was playing a lot of loud music, but we will just continue where we left off. This is a really nice Burrow playset. It's completely different to the Burrow in the movies because it's purely made out of the imagination formed by the words that J.K. Rowling wrote in her books. So we've still got a house which is made out of basically lots of other houses all shoved together. It kind of looks like a load of extensions just put on in any which way, which I really love, especially when it comes to this roof here, which looks like it's made of thatch. That's just a really nice touch. So it's quite an interesting design to say the least, and I actually prefer this from the design of the Burrow in the movies. I would like to see this more because I think this is a cozier, more homely style. But it's very, very cool because it can actually open up and has a lot of parts to it. This is the inside. We've got a tree which opens up, and then in there you can actually put a little figure. I do have a couple of figures which go with this set. Here I've got a Ron and a Harry. They're kind of like Polly Pocket because they've got these perfectly round bases, and it means that we can pop them into the playset. There we go. So that's Ron stood up there, and I can actually move him all around. You'll notice now that this door here, this hidden compartment, has just closed, but I should be able to get it open again. There we go. See, that's open again now. So we've got this mystery compartment there, which is very fun. And over on this side, we've got the fireplace. I'm extra fond of this fireplace because if we move it around, there we go, we've got the green flames, and again it has the spot for you to be able to put a character in. So where's Harry? I'm going to pop Harry in there, and he's going to shout, oh, there we go, he's going to shout diagonally, and there we go, he's disappeared. He's now in Diagon Alley. And we've even got spaces on the stairs to be able to pop our characters so that they can be on the stairs while talking to him. Hey, Harry, where have you gone? Harry? Harry? Oh, I'm here, Ron. Sorry, I had to go to the sweet shop, but I'm back now. Oh, I'm glad you're back, Harry. Okay, that was probably the worst little reenactment play that you've ever heard. But anyway, and upstairs we've got these two beds. I think this is supposed to be the attic for Harry and Ron when Harry stays over, because we've got this poster here of Quidditch, and that's just what they would have in their room. And that's got different Quidditch scenes as you go around, but you can control it with the chimney up here. It's a little bit stiff because this is quite old, but it still does work, as you can see. You might have also noticed that it's kind of got this connection on the end here. I'm not sure what this connected to, whether there's a piece that I'm missing, or whether there are just other sets like this one which were designed to all connect together. But what I do notice is that as we swivel this bush here, that actually turns this blue gear. So whatever it does, it interacts with the next piece. But I do not have that, unfortunately. I think that this is adorable. It's beautifully designed. There's so many little details to it. Oh, I nearly forgot one of my favourite features. So this one isn't a moving part, it's nothing too special. But you can see that there's a clock here. And I really like the fact that they've included a clock because there is actually a clock at the Burrow which has all of the members of the family on it instead of hands. And so they go around to different places, whether they're at school or shopping or at work, or if they're flu powdering, or even if they're sick or they're dead. This clock only has a long and a short hand, so it hasn't gone to that much detail, but I see that as a little reference to that very important clock. And that is the playset itself. I have a couple of other pieces. Here I have a few gnomes, so that's for denoming the garden. So I guess if I wanted to play at that, I'd put them here with the tree, and then I'd have the characters all chasing after them. You've seen Harry and Ron. I also have quite a big Harry here, and you can see he's holding Hedwig. This piece obviously doesn't go with this playset because he's completely the wrong size. He dwarfs it all. But I keep him with this playset because it's the same sort of style and it's book Harry instead of films Harry. You notice that it doesn't look anything like Daniel Radcliffe. And then I have this thing here, which is either a stick or a broomstick, but it's the same kind of plastic. I have this key, which is one of the keys from the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone if you're American. So it's got the wings on it. I've got a spider. Lovely spider. Wow. And then I have a really big Hedwig, which I haven't managed to find a good place for because she doesn't stand up. So I usually just kind of put her on top of the playset like that, or I have it closed. Well, there we go. I have her on top like that. So that is all of my vintage Harry Potter things which I have right now. I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing them, and maybe if you guys have anything like this yourself, you want to let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me your favourite features, and are you more a fan of the illustration Burrow or the films Burrow? I'd love to know what you guys think of this. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and keep collecting.